The next article I have here is from Android Central, and it's about eSIMs or embedded SIMs. And it's kind of just an overview of what an eSIM is and why it's important for the future of mobile. Uh, I guess a quick synopsis here from Android Central says an eSIM integrates the functions of a SIM card into a phone's hardware, making it easier and quicker to change phone service. I don't, I've, my Pixel 4 has eSIM. I think my iPhone 11 Pro also has eSIM, and I've never used it before. But having one allows you to not have a physical SIM card, which is great. Um, it's not something I've used yet, though. Using an eSIM can also make it easier to manage multiple phone services on one device. A budget phone with an eSIM is a Pixel 3a for $299, and an unlocked with pure Android eSIM phone, I guess, is a Pixel 4 at $595 at Amazon. So, what's an eSIM? For most phones sold today and in the past several years, a SIM card is included or provided by your carrier to tell the phone how to connect to the network and what service it gets. These SIM cards look like small memory cards. I'm sure you guys all know what eSIMs are or what SIM cards are, right? Maybe some people do or some people don't. I remember I was working with somebody who had an iPhone. He always gets the newest iPhones. And when I talked to him and I was talking to him about a SIM card and just swapping it out because he was like, hey, maybe one day I want to try an Android phone. And I was like, yeah, you should just get an unlocked one and then take the SIM out from your iPhone and swap it. He's like, but iPhones don't have SIM cards. I've never put one in. He 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 seriously thought that iPhones didn't have SIM cards at all. And it's just because the carrier had always put it in for him, or the phone, I think, usually has one in there when you get it from the get go. But anyway, a lot of times people just bring their phones to the carriers and they have no idea that their phones have an actual SIM card inside it. So these SIM cards look like small memory cards and usually slide into the side of your phone on a small tray. More recently, companies like Google and Apple have started to push an embedded SIM or eSIM as a better solution while still keeping a SIM card slot for compatibility. This eSIM can be activated by a carrier to receive service without the need to get a specific SIM card from the carrier. Your eSIM could either be activated remotely by the carrier, and in some cases could even be done automatically. This is actually something that I'm surprised that I haven't implemented yet. I don't know why it's taken me so long to not do this. Maybe just because it's pretty easy to just take the SIM out and then put it somewhere else, especially with how often I switch phones. Well, not lately since I've been using my iPhone 11 Pro more than anything else, but that's just me. So, why would I want an eSIM? One of the biggest reasons someone would want to have an eSIM is for easy access to new phone plans as needed. Some carriers provide phone service in an app and can activate services through your eSIM while you travel. This can allow you to keep your phone active on your standard line without risking massive roaming fees, which is great. Some people may also want to have multiple numbers active on one phone. So, the one thing that I think you can do is you can put, so for example, my iPhone 11 Pro has a T-Mobile SIM card in it. And then because I'm pretty sure the iPhone 11 Pro has eSIM capability, then I can also use an eSIM to activate another phone service, and then technically I'd have two different phone numbers or two different carriers on one phone. This can allow, I read that sentence already. Some people may also want to have multiple numbers active on one phone. This can be great for someone that wants to be able to manage a business phone number and a personal phone number at the same time. So that's something that I do, which is why I always carry two phones on me. But I pay such cheap service for my phone. Like, every phone line that I have, I pay $21.24, and that's after taxes. So I have a pretty good deal with T-Mobile. So it's not the biggest dent in my wallet. But it says here, it can also be a big help for someone that wants to make sure they have a solid connection in more places, thanks to being able to access multiple networks, which is true. So again, for example, I have T-Mobile, and then if I wanted to add AT&T or like Verizon, I'm guessing, I don't know if Verizon does eSIM. I'm assuming all the big carriers do, but I don't know for sure. So then I could have two networks in case one goes down, or just better coverage overall. It says here Google Fi can even use the eSIM in the Pixel 4 to improve coverage on its own service, which is awesome. Having access to an eSIM in other devices such as smartwatches, tablets, or even notebook computers can make it easier to have data on those devices without having to worry about which carrier you will use. To add to that, removing a physical opening in the side of a phone can improve water resistance since current SIM trays rely on a gasket to keep water out. That's also a great point. If it doesn't get seated properly or deteriorates, water can get in. One of the main arguments against eSIMs is that people are afraid carriers will use the technology to lock phones out of activation on other carriers. I feel like that would be a big part of me is like, yeah, that's no surprise. A carrier would do that, but I'm sure there are legalities on just doing that, especially if it's a phone that you own, and you're paid up with your bills. I don't know. I don't think that would be the biggest hurdle in the world, at least. While there is some plausibility to this, the end user is currently able to erase their eSIM on their own, making it possible to activate on another carrier.